Hi all. So an absolute game changer in my journey from being a beginner trader to being a somewhat good trader today has been this book. And what is this book? It is nothing but a personal notebook of mine where I've written down everything I need to know about all the trades that I've entered, especially in my earlier years. It talks about all the trades that I took, the logics in which I entered, when I entered it, when I exited it, and it also talks about all the emotional ups and downs in a trader's journey. And as we discussed earlier, I'm absolutely sure that this is one of the major reasons why I could learn and upskill in trading. So yes, then let's talk about the agenda of the video. So in this video, I'll talk about what and why you should be maintaining a trading journal of your own. And after that, we'll also talk about how you can make a trading journal of your own. And I'll also be sharing a simple format. I'll also be sharing a medium format, which is slightly better in my opinion. And I'll be also sharing what we today at Market Feed do to track all of our trades, right? How we have used this trading journal, our journey with this trading journal, and we've implemented that into our automated trading systems. So let's do one quick exercise before we get started. Let's go through one of the pages and try to find out the trade and what I've written down here, right? So let's go through here. So yeah, this talks about a trade which I took in BHCL futures, right? BHCL futures. I bought this future at 47 rupees and I plan to sell it at 50 rupees, right? But then I sold it at 48 rupees. So what happened here? I made a 1 rupee profit or whatever the percentage is. But what happened here? I did not end up waiting for the target to reach and to book the maximum profits, right? Yes, so what have I written here? Made a profit in this trade, but I could not hold due to market volatility causing scary conditions, right? So what does it say, right? I had a learning, I had an understanding that this stock could perform in a certain way and I took the trade. But after taking the trade, even though it was in profit, I actually did not end up making the potential profit that it had. I've also written down the stock kept on rallying, right? It hit my target, then it kept on moving up further, even up after that, right? This is a story multiple years ago, right? Maybe even 2021, I think. So that's the story here. So I've also written down my learnings here. What are the learnings? So stock went up, you were not able to hold, right? So learning here is that you should be definitely following your trade plan, right? Trust your guts more, be more confident. That's what I've written down here. So you see what is happening here, right? This is a trading journal which I made multiple years ago. And still today, if you're looking at it, I've written down everything in detail that I could even remember that specific trade. Do you think that this is possible without any form of data or documentation? Wait, let me ask you this question, right? Simple question before we get on further. What did you have for dinner yesterday? Right? You'll probably be able to give me the answer. But what did you have for dinner last Friday? What about last Monday? Right? Then things start getting hazy. Your brain does not work in a way that you store all these unnecessary information, right? But absolutely, these are some necessary information itself that you'll be needing to learn and upskill in your journey. So that's what this video's agenda is all about. So without further ado, let's get started. This is Ajay Ajit. Welcome to Market Feed. So yes, let's start with the first agenda topic. What is a trading journal and why is it to be used? So a trading journal is nothing but a record keeping tool which helps a trader analyze and improve his performance, right? So what is it? It is just a trade tracking tool. So it can be anything, right? That's the beauty of a trading journal. You can start your journaling experience with a simple book and pen. You can start writing anything that you want. You can document it here. And what will it be? It will be a record, right? A record keeping for all the past trades that you've took. And what all could it include? It could include a lot of things, right? Whatever you deem necessary. But I'll give you certain examples here. The date of entry, the time of entry, the entry price, exit price, was that trade in a profit or loss, your emotional state during that trade, right? Your learnings from that trade, all of these stuff you can start to write down in this small, simple book and paper. All the stuff when you write down, you'll be putting a lot of thought into writing it each and every point down, right? So you'll be recollecting what happened throughout the day, and at a later date, you can come back and you can see what you had written and then you can have learnings from it. So if you're asking me, the reason which I feel a trading journal is an absolute must is that you'll start seeing patterns. You'll start seeing patterns where there are some trades which you enter with a certain confidence, right? So you'll start writing all of that down here. So after that, you'll see that, let's say, few profit making trades are also not that satisfying to you, right? And as the earlier example that I gave in BHCL, The trade went into a profit, but overall, I was not at all happy with the trade, and that's what I had written down. So you'll see patterns develop, and based on that data, you can start taking better and better decisions. And in my journey, right, I absolutely feel it has brought me accountability, because trading, who are you really accountable to? Right, you're managing your account, you're sitting in a room, you're trading alone, you're not accountable to anyone, right? What happens if you make a profit or a loss, or if you do not follow your learnings? There are no consequences. Like if you're working a desk job, you have a manager who's watching you and everything. There are no consequences in trading, at least not in the very short term. So I absolutely believe this has made me a more disciplined trader, right? Brought in a lot of accountability and helped me control my emotions. So if the what and the why are very, very clear, let's go ahead into the next section where we'll talk about how you can start your trade journaling experience, right? So again, as I talked about earlier, we'll start from a very simple perspective, and then we'll move to the most advanced trading journal systems that you can probably use. So let's start with the simple way. And when I say simple, don't ever think that it is not a powerful way. So in this simple way, all you need to know, or all you need to have, is a piece of paper and a pen. So you can start your journaling experience, and these are all the points that you should be including in that. You should be having ideally a new notebook. It doesn't matter, right? It can be an old notebook with a lot of pages left as well. You should be having the date, the time of entry, which stock or security is that you have entered into, its entry price, its exit price, your learning or the strategy which you have used, and also at the end, your thoughts and emotions around the trade. Right? So these are all the things that you'll need to have in your trading journal entry. So as I've written down here, you can just start journaling, writing down your thoughts, maybe not more than half a page, right? Again, that's my personal experience. You can have even more if you want, but that's how a simple trading journal entry can be created. And once you start journaling, you have to make sure that you come visit this book every single day. Right? If you have a trade, if you took the trade, you should be entering it here in the book every single day. And let's say in a day, you watched the market and you did not trade. Even that day, you should be coming and entering what were the reasons why I didn't enter a trade today. Right? So everything should be well documented here in this book. And you should be also setting up a system where you come here every single week, every single month, every single quarter to analyze and summarize what happened during that past time frame. And even that you should be writing down here in the book. And that is a simple way of doing it. And the fact is, if you are not disciplined enough to at least maintain this trading journal, you'll have a hard time in trading, right? Trading is all about being disciplined and being consistent over a very, very long time. And if you're not able to write a simple note here, right? I don't want it even to be at a very crazy info depth level, right? But if you're not able to maintain this, it'll be very, very hard for you as a trader. Let me be very honest and clear here. And after that, let's go ahead into the medium to advanced way, right? So in the medium to advanced way, when we start discussing it, you'll see to understand what are the drawbacks of a normal, simple, boring journal entry. So in the medium to advanced way, it is all about finding filters or easy methods to sort out a large set of data. When you're writing in a book here, yes, it is powerful. It is very emotionally involving, but you'll not be able to look at the data and analyze it very easily. At the same time, if you're using a tool, let's say you're typing on a Microsoft Word document, at least you'll be able to do a Control F and you'll be able to find out which are the profit making days and the loss making days. Yes. So let's take it to the next level. So here I'll be showing you how to make a free Notion template for your trading journal. Right? So Notion is a very free tool that a lot of people across the world use for a lot of applications, right? Again, this is not a paid promotion, by the way. So in Notion, the benefit that I saw is that, yes, it is free. Then it is something which is called as databases. And you, at the same time, you can also have multiple views of a certain set of data, right? So just to give an example here, once you have put your trading journals into simple, boring lines on a table, you can also see it in a calendar form. You can see which all days of the month you were profitable, which all days you were not. You'll start seeing patterns there. So all that stuff will start coming out by using this very simple platform. And because it is free, I wanted to share it with all of you. So we'll make a quick, simple Notion doc here. And after that, I'll go ahead and share it with you as well. So it is in a downloadable or a copyable format. You can copy it to your own Notion workspace and you can start working on it. So what are we going to do here? We're going to create a simple Notion doc so that you can start journaling your trades. So the first thing that you have to do, this is the home screen. You'll see after logging into Notion, you have to come to here and you have to hit on add a page, right? Once you have hit that, you can write down trading journal, right? I'm going to name it Power Trading Journal, right? After that, go down, then you have to hit the slash bar and you have to type in table view, right? Select table view. So you'll see this, right? So you'll see new table, start a blank database. So the benefit of Notion, as I talked about earlier, is that you'll be having a database which you can visualize in multiple ways, right? That's the best part of it. So I'm going to create a new table here. And as you can see, I'm giving all the details here once again. So it's in the table format and I can go ahead and I can start renaming and defining all of the columns. So what am I going to give as a first name here? It will be the symbol, right? What is the stock or index or the option which I'm trading in? So that is what I'm going to enter here. The next thing that I would want to do is to track the date. Right? Again, just think of a simple trading journal on a book and with a book and pen, right? That's what we want to recreate here, only with the fact that it is searchable and you can apply filters to it as well. So date is what I've entered as a column name here, but you can go ahead and do one more thing. You can come here, click on the date again, click on edit property, and then you can go to type and you can select date here. What's the benefit? All the columns or all the cells in that column, it will start to be in a date format, right? And if you're, let's say, a positional trader, you can go ahead select a start date here. You can also include or open the time of end date, and you can say this trade was opened between 10 to 13 of September. If you want, if you're an aggressive intraday trader, you can go ahead and include a time as well, but let's not do it now. So symbol is set, date is set. The next thing that I want, one again that the simple book and pen does not offer you is I want to attach all the charts, right? It can be the charts which I took while, let's say, entering a trade. It can be the charts of Nifty. It can be the charts of which I took while entering the trade. I want all of that to be noted here as well. So for chart, you can come here and either you can give the URL option. If you are a TradingView user, you can use the share to URL option and you can come give it here. For now, I'm going to give the files and media option. So once you click here, you can see that you'll get the option of either uploading a file or you can embed a link as well. So I'm going ahead and giving a sample file here, Nifty chart, and that is also done. So next you can go ahead and enter strategy, or that's the column which I would want. So for strategy, I would want it to be a multi-select way. So I could enter the same trade by using multiple strategies. So let's say OHL, PRB, these are all very simple strategies that we've discussed in this channel. If you have not watched the OHL video, make sure you go watch it here. So OHL, PRB, or let's talk about the Nova series, right? The new flagship strategies that Market Feed has come out with. So Nova series strategies. So all of that you can enter here. And as I said earlier, you can select one or you can select more while entering your trading journal entry. So if that is clear, let's move ahead. The next thing that I want to add here is result. I want to know if the trade was in a profit or a loss. And for that, I'll give the property of just select, right? It can either be a profit or it can be a loss. So automatically the colors have come here. If you want to modify the colors also, you can come here and select any color that you want. So going ahead, I want the profit percentage here. So this is where I can write down 2% profit minus 1.2% loss, right? All that stuff I can go ahead and note down here. The next thing that I would want is a place to write down all of my thoughts. So execution notes is what I want, and I'm keeping it in the text format so that I can come here and write down. So I'll give you a simple example of an execution note that I've made. Entered the trade understanding it is a bullish bias within an entry with an entry at 24,500, target of 25,000, keeping an SL at 24,300, understanding that it is a good support range. That is the execution notes that I've given. Again, similarly, you can also add, are you happy or did you follow your rules, right? So I'll just go ahead and ask that rules followed, and I'll make that into a select because I want it either to be a yes or a no answer. I don't want any other answer here. I just want to know if I followed the rules while entering and executing this trade. That's what I want to know. I'm also adding a column for learnings here, keeping it in the text format so that I can add any points that I want here. I can write my heart out. So you see what is happening here, right? Although it will take some time to set up, for you to go ahead and enter all of this, it is very, very easy. Once you do this, it is very, very easy. So then what is the next advantage here? You can go ahead and, as we said, this is a table view, right? Then you can start visualizing this in multiple ways. So I'll click the plus here just under table view, and I'll go ahead and change it into a calendar, or I'll add the calendar view here as well. So I'll show you a complete calendar view here of another page that I've made earlier, right? So you can see that, hey, this is Reliance trade running here. There was this Nifty trade running here. And to show you more data, you can click on this 3 dots here on the top, and you can click on the view options, properties here, and you can start dragging in things that you want to see here in the calendar view, right? So I want to see PNL. Was it a profit or a loss? I want to see the strategy that I took. So it will be slightly larger, but it is okay. These are the things that I want to see here in the calendar view. So similarly, you can start creating multiple views. You can even create a chart view, right? To see how many of your trades are in a profit or a loss based on a chart, a very simple chart, right? So there are multiple ways for you to visualize all the data that we've entered into Notion here. Now let's get into the filtration process as well. So as I showed you a simple filtration, which is to show you in a calendar view. Similarly, you can have another form of filtering here, right? So if you go ahead into any of the columns, you can click on it and you'll have the filter option here. So once you click on the filter option, you can click on the profit or loss here in the result section, and then you can see that my entire table here, I'll be only able to see my profit making trades. And if I want to learn from my profit making trades, I can see here, right? And if I want to, I can add more filters here where the rules followed. So I say yes, okay? And you can see that this trade still pops up, which is the rules were followed. I made a profit. So this is a happy trade. As I talked about earlier, there can be trades where your rules were not followed, but you still made a profit, right? So to bring out all of that, you can start using these filtration processes. Now, this is a very simple and easy tool to use. There is a small learning curve to it, but I'm sure you'll all be able to pick it up. Most of these, including the filters, can be done on a Google Sheet as well. So the only reason that I've not selected a Google Sheet is because I can't easily access the multiple views there. The calendar view is something that I think is really useful. So switching between multiple views on the same database, it's slightly more complicated or very, very difficult there. On Notion, it is very, very easy to do. And you can customize this page in a lot of ways. I'm going ahead and adding a cover here. You can come click on the cover, change cover here, and I'll uploading a new file. So I'm uploading the market feed banner just for reference, right? And you can come here, add comments. So things that I believe that every trading journal should have are certain points that you should be reminded every single day. So I'll give you a few points that I've written down in the front page of my trading journal. So max drawdown, this is how much max drawdown you should be tolerating, right? 5%, more than 5% in a day, you should not even be thinking about it. Things like consistency is key, just motivational stuff. Because at the end of the day, trading is not an easy journey, right? So trading is slightly an emotional game you'd like to play, and you'd need a lot of motivation. And since you're the only one who's fully invested and knows your journey, right? Just start adding points there which you think are relevant for you. So I'll also be sharing this Notion doc in the description down below, or you can make one on your own as well. It is okay. So it'll be showing up when you open the Notion site, it'll be showing up like this, and you can hit on the duplicate icon here on the top right to copy it to your own personal Notion space. So that is it. We talked about a very simple way in which you're just writing down with a piece of pen and paper. We also talked about the medium to advanced way where you can take notes or start this journaling entry through either Excel or through this Notion template which I'm sharing with you. Now let's go ahead into the advanced way, which is how we attack things here at Market Feed today. Before starting this last part, I want to share a personal opinion with you. So I believe going ahead into the future, more and more traders will become rule-based algo players. So I'm not just talking about market feed, but you and I as individual traders will also start depending on algo based trading more and more. What all will be the benefits of the new algo based world that we'll be getting into? So there will be faster execution. You can put all your thoughts down into, let's say, a set of rules or code, and then that code will take trades for you. There will be no emotions as well. Then this trading journal part gets very redundant. Don't you think so? But I don't agree. So here we'll look at how we are analyzing all the data that we have. I'll discuss few ratios here. You can imagine these as the columns that we had earlier. So these are the columns, and these are the new ways in which we are judging the performance of a strategy. So Sharpe ratio, Sortino ratio, Kalmar ratio, maximum drawdown, win ratio, mean ROA. These are just some of the many multiple ratios and numbers that we are looking into to judge and analyze our particular strategies. And just imagine that earlier Notion table. So you can imagine symbol and strategy name, all of that being done there. And in all the other columns, we're going to fill in the values of each of these ratios based on the trading week we are in. So we'll be looking at this data on a rolling 52-week period. So every day or at the end of every week, we'll be looking at what or how the strategy has performed in the last 1 week. We'll also be looking at the last 52 weeks data at every single week's point. So after all these are being entered into the system gives out or puts out an output called as a health metric. So health metric, it's divided just into 3 categories, either into green, yellow or red. So if green is the output by the system, it says that the strategy performance is good, the ratios are looking good, performance is good, everything is going good and healthy. And if it is in yellow, it means that the strategy is at risk. There is something wrong here that you should probably be watching the strategy and seeing what all changes you should be looking at bringing next, right? So that means it is at risk. You have to observe it, but not necessarily take any decisions there. And in the last stage of the health metric, if it shows red, that means the strategy is not performing as expected. There are some drastic changes which might be required here. So all of these are how we look at our trading data as well. So earlier with all this trading journal, with the book that we are writing in, with the Notion doc, what are we trying to do here? If I ask you what you ate for dinner yesterday, you would remember that. But if I ask you what you ate for dinner last Friday, do you remember that? Or what about last Monday? You would most probably not have that in the top of your head, because our brain discards all these random data points as things that it does not need. But for a trader, absolutely it is needed. For a trader, I believe going the data-driven route is the only way to succeed in the future. And as for algos, right, if the future is algo, it will be mostly completely data-driven there. So what all did we learn today? We looked at what a trading journal is and why it is required. We looked at multiple ways of creating your own trading journal, and we also looked at how automated or algo based traders should also be looking at their trading journal. Hope you got a lot of value from this video, and if you have any doubts, as always, make sure you let us know in the comments down below. So yes, this is Ajay Adit signing off. See you all again in another practical trading video, and hit the like button if you want more such videos. See you again. Bye bye.